Hey everyone, it's Alex. Just a quick note ahead of this episode. Andrew and I have spent the week at Northumbrian Water's amazing innovation festival, and we managed to snag chief of the festival and Northumbrian Water CIO, Nigel Watson, to come up with some crazy ideas concerning rats with us. Instead of the usual ad segment in the middle of the show, we've got a song also about rats, written and performed by comedy musicians Harry and Chris, who are absolutely brilliant. I also just want to thank Laura and Graham for their ideas too. Now, on with the show. Hey, Andrew.
Hey, Nigel.
Hey, Andrew.
Andrew, what's this, man?
This is Brains on the Outside, a podcast celebrating creativity through ridiculous business ideas.
Amazing. And this week we have, ridiculously, we've managed to find ourselves a special guest.
A very special guest.
Yeah, the CIO of Northumbrian Water, Nigel Watson. Nigel, what is Northumbrian Water's Innovation Festival, which is where we are today?
What is it? I guess. It's firstly, it's like a British summer festival, right? We've deliberately created an environment like that.
Really like that, yeah?
Yeah.
It's great,
Yeah. Because we think that work should be fun, as well as, it's obviously hard sometimes, but work should be fun at times.
Yeah.
And we wanted to create an environment that was conducive to creativity and democracy, right? So that everybody feels like they can participate in the innovation process. In the end, it creates new ideas for us to take back into our business to make our business better.
Yeah, I think it does that really well. We've had a lot of fun the week we've been here.
Yeah, we really have.
Now, there's a lot of problems being solved right now.
Yes.
But we are part of a specific stream of problems relating to rats. Could you introduce this rat problem for us?
I can, yeah. So aside from being CIO of Northumbrian Water, I'm a non-exec director of Your Homes Newcastle, which is a social housing group, 26,000 homes in Newcastle. And when I became a non-exec director, I want to go out and see what the team does, right? What kind of jobs do they do at Your Homes Newcastle? And they took me to a row of housing and they were fixing kitchens. Fixing nearly all of the kitchens in a row of housing. And so I asked, why so many kitchens broken? Why so many kitchens need to be replaced? And they said, it's the rats. And I said, really? Yeah. But rats, they literally can eat through a wall, right?
Yeah.
To get to food. So they're amazing in that sense. But what happened, though, during the pandemic, so what changed, if you like, is during the pandemic, obviously city centres closed. And the kebab shop closed and the fish and chip shop closed. And so the rats just moved out of those areas into the adjacent areas, which tend to be where people live, in more dense housing. So, so we've got a massive rat problem, way, way bigger than we've ever had before.
Now, I think we can come up with some pretty innovative ideas. You are a chief innovation officer, so I think we can solve this together, all three of us.
Are you the chief innovation officer or the chief information officer?
I'm the chief information officer, actually.
Well, today you can also be chief innovation officer.
Yeah. It's still an I, isn't it? In the end.
It's the same thing. Yeah. Chief of everything beginning with I.
Yeah. I could go with that too.
Yeah, that's fine.
I had two weird rat ideas. The first one was rat contraception. I think that you just pop it around the hotspots, it'll get rid of your rat problem because no more will exist. My second one was some kind of toothpaste, which is anti-toothpaste, which is going to rot their teeth so they can't bite through the pipes.
So I think I have a lot of ideas. I think we all have a lot of ideas. So maybe we should just go around and say what their first thing they think of is how to solve this rat problem.
Is it a problem? That's the question that I have.
Okay.
Can we make use of the fact that there are lots of rats
so you're thinking
around the place? Can we benefit?
Are rats useful?
Are rats useful? This is a question that I asked.
It's an interesting question, isn't it? I mean, look, they cause a lot of damage, and I guess they represent some kind of a public health risk. But are there benefits? Could we put rats to better use? I mean, could we
100%.
train the rats?
Could we train the rats?
Yes,
to do something useful?
Can we? They're making holes in pipes. Could we train them to detect holes in pipes and come and tell us about them? Because that's another problem, right? We don't know when there's holes in pipes.
Yeah, no, that's exactly true. Although, if you're in a clean water pipe, that water's coming through at quite a speed, and the rat could never get in there.
Well, first you have to make them better swimmers.
And they would be really, it'd be a bit of a surprise if one came out of your tap, wouldn't it? Let's be honest. I don't think people would thank us for that.
I'd not really thought about that.
But the sewer system, where, I mean, they inhabit anyway.
Yeah,
we could
exactly.
train them to look for cracks in the
holes
pipes,
in the pipes.
Yeah.
I think the rats being experts of the sewer system, there's a lot of scope there. What if we put them to use as food delivery units? Like they could go to you put in Deliveroo, the rats would pick your McDonald's up and bring it to you.
Oh, okay, I'm just going to put this back to you though. So you've ordered a burger and that burger's come through the sewer system. Are you happy with that?
Vacuum packed.
Vacuum packed. Okay, the precision of the delivery and all of that, because it might eat the burger, right? That's another thing.
If it's vacuum packed, it's okay. And
I don't think it can eat through the vacuum pack. Yeah, it can eat through a brick wall.
I mean, this feels like an operational problem. I've got to be honest.
Yeah, a bit of refinement, maybe. Yeah, maybe it's an idea that needs refinement.
Okay, you give them 2 burgers.
Okay.
The understanding is this burger is for you, Mr. Rat.
Yeah.
And this burger is for me.
2 burgers.
Two burgers,
all right.
one for it to eat, one for you to have.
So on Deliveroo, 2 for 1 offer.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Instead of a tip, give them a chip.
It's even got a slogan.
I think that's good.
Yeah.
What about mesh Wi-Fi? We have Wi-Fi problems within cities. Put Wi-Fi on the back of every rat.
Wi-Fi on the back of a rat. Yeah. No, I mean, my head went to, could we put sensors on the rats of some kind as well, right? So they could detect things as they're going around.
What sort of things would you have the rats out there looking for?
Well, I mean, they could be looking for, we get tree root ingress in the pipes, right? And so maybe we could kind of go, okay, they can spot the tree root ingress.
I do like this idea of Internet of Things rats.
Internet of Things. We talk IoT as the Internet of Toilets. This is it's the smallest room in the house, yet to be connected, but it will be. Yeah, smart toilets. We're really going with there though. But it's kind of an extension of that idea, isn't it?
IOR,
the Internet of rodents.
I heard that there are bits of the plumbing and sewage system that we don't have maps of. Is that right?
That's exactly right. Yeah. So and there we go. There we go.
Rat
That's
maps.
the idea, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah.
This is verging on actually a really good.
It could be even useful. Shockingly. I mean, but you're absolutely right. So in 2011, so we've always understood where the mains bit of the sewers are, right?
Yeah.
I mean, in 2011, the government said, well, you've got the rest of it, like all the way up to the house. And at that point, we were like, okay, well, we don't really know where that is, right? And so we've been piecing together that picture ever since. And there are indeed bits of it that we're still unsure about, right? So we've made some kind of assumptions, but about, well, that house was built then and they tended to do this kind of construction and things like that. So we've done some clever bits, but we still are not 100% sure where the pipes are.
So give the
cases.
rats something very slightly radioactive.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Send them down the
It's
pipes.
getting a little edgier this time, right?
Send them in the pipes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess
Geiger counter on the top, following them, see where the pipes go.
it's kind of like normal medicine. Sometimes puts radioactive things.
Yeah.
Inside you to track how things move through your body.
Yeah.
I'm guessing you mean that amount of radiation and not like a huge amount.
Why radiation? I see. My
I don't know,
head
that
went
was-
to- my head went
I
to
was thinking about it.
accelerometer or something like that. Right? I mean,
Sure.
oh, it might be boring, but
you give them little GPS units and then they can wear them as hats, and that'd be kind of cute.
Underground, man.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Well, no, you can get a signal out. You can.
Oh.
When you go around the manhole covers.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so we've experimented with some things that are kind of like little balls that can go through the sewers, and we can pick up a signal from them. You need Bluetooth as well. So, but yeah, maybe
This is
Bluetooth.
pretty close to a workable idea then.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's got legs. Hundreds of them.
Anything else you can use a rat for, Andrew?
I was thinking energy generation. I have a picture here. The audience can't see this, but it's of the London Eye retrofitted like a massive hamster wheel. So
Okay.
could you use rats as a form of making energy?
Making energy. I mean, in the research that I did to sort of go, okay, can we solve this rat problem, right? And the sprint process is organic, so you never know exactly where it's going to go. But in this process, I thought I'd better have a look and see if there is anything innovative in the world. And I discovered the grimmest machine I've ever heard of, right? Which was a machine that chews up rats, but uses that as the energy to power itself.
That is strangely circular.
It's circular like a circular saw, perhaps. But yes, but very. I thought that's pretty dark.
So this song was part of a show we wrote called "This One's for the Aliens," where we were trying to attract interstellar life to come and spend their money on Earth to help tourism. And this song was a kind of pamphlet on how amazing planet Earth is. So this fits perfectly with describing one of the most wonderful species on Earth. Because when the eyes of the universe are coming your way, you make sure you got something to say.
And how despite it feeling like cold porridge, our brain is somewhat able to hold knowledge. And no matter the advancements in robotics, there will always be a queue at the post office. How they're called dodgers but we don't dodge them. How the phrase exists that as a load of old trollop, an open fire in an old cottage, and the fact that we never stop trying to solve problems.
How fish sing a dawn chorus. Ooh. And when we die our pets mourn for us. Ooh. And when Bristol tested buses powered by human poo, the first route tested was the number 2. So if you're looking for a reason why to visit us, we got trees and kites.
The sun, seasons, sky.
Sometimes all 3 combined.
We got Game of Thrones.
Up to season 5.
Some people like cheese and wine.
These are fine.
But I'd rather have a decent sized pizza slice.
We built giant machines that mean we can fly. So get down here at the speed of light.
We don't know when this ride will be over.
We don't know when our time will be up. We don't know if we've lived how we're supposed to. If the things that we did were enough. All we know is that life is an open book. It's up to us to put stuff on the page. So when the eyes of the universe are coming your way, you make sure you got something to say.
Like how if Natalie Portman appeared in a panto, that could be shortened to a portmanteau. How Yakka, Kayak, Tangy Nat and Panda had Napa all animal palindrome.
How opinions don't have to be set in stone.
Or maybe they do, that opinion's not set in stone. When in Rome, we say when in Rome, because when in Rome.
When musicians go to the gym, they get semi-toned.
How if your friend Steph got some heart-stopping news, you would use a stethoscope to see if Steph was coped.
Or if another friend got the news on the moon, you would need a telescope just to telescoped.
Or if 2 apple juice swigging musical birds bought a flute in some islands off Mexico, we'd see a couple of capella packing a cappella pelicans pick up a piccolo and Acapulco's archipelago. We see a couple of capella packing a cappella pelicans pick up a piccolo and Acapulco's archipelago.
A couple of capella packing
We don't know when this ride will be over.
We don't know when our time will be up.
We don't know if we've lived how we're supposed to.
If the things that we did were enough. All we know is that life is an open book. It's up to us to put stuff on the page.
So when the eyes of the universe are coming your way, you make sure you got something to say. Like how me and Chris are here today, even though one of us dropped out of sick form. Just like a rat, he got back up after it had fallen out of the 6th floor. That sometimes during COVID, a lot of rats moved out of the city to the rural areas, just like a lot of my friends who couldn't afford to live in London anymore. Yes, I hope you're okay. There are 150 million rats in the UK, and there are... how many people in the UK?
70 million.
And there are 70 million people in the UK, so if it came down to a fight, we'd all have to take out 2.5 each, and I think we could do it. Absolutely. And the only thing I'm going mental, I'm just here being so commensal. Commensal, you're a commencer. If things are getting stopped, you need to commence her, and if you try to join a very clever organisation, then you're part of the
Cool Mensa.
Cool Mensa, yes please, absolutely. And it's going really well, but you know what I think would be cool and what would be first rate is Chris is going to sing a song about how rats get pregnant and also give birth at the same time. Please, sing that song, baby. You can include this word if you want, but...
Postpartum or squiggle. Oh, postpartum squiggle. You know, feathery. They don't have feathers, do they? Just
You're thinking of pigeons.
Yes. Okay. Do they have feathers? Any rat? No, definitely not. In case you're wondering.
They could evolve.
our furry friends. They'll be with us till the end, by which I mean they'll probably outlast us. So we should be kind to them when there are overlords. Wait, what am I singing about? Postpartum squiggle. Postpartum squiggle.
And the song with a little wiggle. Postpartum squiggle. Postpartum squiggle. And the song with a little wiggle. All together now. Postpartum squiggle. Postpartum squiggle. And the song with a little wiggle. Yes, we know what we're doing. It's like a ride that we're hitching. At the end of this, we're all going to be switching. But despite what we're told in outrageous propaganda by Pixar, you shouldn't let rats in the kitchen. You know what? We do actually have some fantastic wildlife. Is on some islands somewhere near Mexico, where you would also find a cappella, back and a cappella, pelicans pick up a piccolo and Acapulco's archipelago. Cappella, back and a cappella, pelicans pick up a piccolo and Acapulco's archipelago. Cappella, back and a cappella, pelicans pick up a piccolo and Acapulco's archipelago.
We know it's alive, it's an over, but it's up to us to step on the boat.
So when the eyes of the universe are coming your way, you make sure you got something to say.
Okay, so what about the other side of this problem, which is removing?
Well, I mean,
rats?
if we assume that rats may not be useful,
Yeah.
which is, and let's be clear,
you've
rats reproduce at an incredible rate. So
Yeah.
if you started with 2 rats,
Yeah.
right, and because of the way that they reproduce, they have a very short gestation period, and they produce 12 litters a year or something like that, right? And
Yeah.
eight puppies, I think they're called. Anyway, do the maths, right?
Yeah.
And it's a lot.
It's a
yeah,
lot.
actually 15,000 by the end of a year, right? Because there's this exponentiality that comes with that. So 2 rats becomes 15,000 after a year. Even if they are useful,
That's still a lot.
that's a lot of rats to feed.
So I was thinking about this exact thing a couple of days ago, and I did some research. There's around 150 million rats, I believe, in the UK right now.
Okay.
The rat problem, I think, could be solved if each person in the UK adopted 3 rats,
All right.
and they were just pets.
Just pets.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody's going to adopt 3?
Everybody. It's going to be a
Each
national
person.
program.
So actually, in your house, if you had 4 people,
Yeah, that's a lot. Actually, that's a lot of rats. You're saying 2 rats can make 15,000. You have to be real careful with these rats when you get them.
you'd have to kind of keep them apart, wouldn't
Yeah.
you? Somehow, I think.
Yeah, you've got to have 12 male rats or 12 female rats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or that's the way it works.
This is actually very close to the plot of Jurassic Park. That's what they thought would happen.
Oh, man,
But then
it's
life finds a
true.
way.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
What about abstinence for rats?
I was wondering, is there
Puritanism.
some kind of read across from the human race? Because
Yeah,
we're not always successful, are we?
No.
it's true.
How are you imagining that you are going to convey the idea of abstinence to a rat, Alex?
Well, I mean, I don't know. If you kept them busy with some kind of rat social media, they might not entertained in other ways.
So
That's good. Distract
true.
them.
Distract them.
What is, if you imagine rat social media, what do you think that is?
I have no idea.
Their entire food Instagram is just pictures of cheese
I guess
and
they are
fondue.
They are kind of like foodies. They kind of do like food, but
They
in
do
a
like
disgusting
food.
way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. And then there's also contraception, right? I guess there's that.
Rat
idea.
birth control.
Rat birth control. I know. First blanch, you might think getting a condom on a rat can be quite tricky. And I'd probably tend to agree with that. So
There's also a lot of rats to get condoms on.
And indeed, this
Big
is
job,
This is an idea that I genuinely think could work, and that is that you effectively give the female rat a version of the pill.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. And that, in fact, you might have seen the headline earlier this week about they're looking at doing this for squirrels as well, because grey squirrels are.
Yeah,
also,
I've heard about that.
yes.
So a combination of rat pill, abstinence training, and every person being responsible for 3 rats could help this out
That's true.
and distract them with social media. I do have another idea,
Go on.
which is that a lot of rats are found around, mess, like student housing. People throw a lot of stuff out,
Yeah.
so rats live there. My idea would also benefit society. We instigate a 0 food waste rule. Everyone in the UK has to always finish the dinner.
Okay, I had that rule when I was at school.
Yeah, exactly. Just transfer it
In
over.
fact, one time, because nobody at the table liked Swede, we got David Catchpole to eat 8 portions.
And I bet there was no rats around either.
No,
exactly.
Yeah, he's never recovered from that. Though, right?
I bet he hasn't. Yeah.
It was life changing. Yeah. I don't know why I thought of that. But anyway, I guess, yeah. That idea of just put your stuff in the bin.
Yeah.
I don't know. Is that so radical?
I mean, you wouldn't think so, would you? I got to be honest. It feels normal.
Yeah, it would be helpful, I think. But I don't. I mean, there is something. I did see. I was watching Kissing the Gram, which is this program about regen, and San Francisco. I think the way they do this is you can put your food in a different bin.
Yeah.
Right? God knows we've got enough different bins already, perhaps. But put it in a different bin, and then they charge you based on the weight of the actual bin, the one that's got the real rubbish in it, right? So it encourages that kind of behaviour.
Yeah, so that's like portion control.
Compost it. They
Yeah, really
compost
clever.
it. Yeah.
That's actually that's super smart. This is also super smart. All right,
That confidence.
right.
Yes.
I was thinking about you got a lot of rats. Introduce more cats.
Right?
Yeah, but then you
Kind of a cat problem, wouldn't we then?
you very quickly get into an old lady who swallowed a fly situation.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so
I'm personally allergic to cats as well, so
Skip to
not
the
loving
end.
that idea. Okay, all right.
crocodiles.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Crocodiles in the sewers.
So we're looking for predation.
You just put crocodiles down there.
It's a hell of a food chain.
They're big enough that they can't get out of the... We've got them down there. They're eating all the rats.
We learned that the rat and a mouse could fit through like scarily tiny holes, like millimeters. An alligator or a crocodile could not fit through those holes in pipes.
Probably not. No.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the crocodile might indeed block the pipe. actually. We would have a new flooding risk.
What if we lubricated them?
This now means someone's job.
Lubed crocs.
Lubed, extra slippery crocodiles.
Someone's job now in Northumbria water is crocodile Vaseliner.
I was thinking somebody's job is a lot more hazardous.
Yeah.
And, from a health and safety point of view,
I guess
as a director, I can't be complicit in this idea. I'm sorry.
There's only one thing more dangerous than a crocodile, and that's a super slippery crocodile.
Super slippery crocodile.
How you
Yeah,
wrestle it, yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
No, sorry.
Selective breeding of rats to make them bigger.
How much bigger?
8 times.
8 times.
10 times bigger.
10 times bigger.
Size of a small dog. They could no longer fit through a 12 millimeter by 18 millimeter hole.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think we might be back to the burger delivery idea.
Oh, yeah.
It's
Because I'll tell you what, if they ate a burger every time they delivered one,
Yeah. They wouldn't be getting out the holes, would they?
I think they might be 10 times bigger pretty quickly.
Maybe the
really
problem
good
actually
Yeah.
is not enough food waste.
More food waste.
More food waste. Please, no. That just doesn't sound good for the planet, does it?
No?
Not every idea is a winner. It's
No,
okay.
no. I mean, I think it's a process, right? We throw these ideas out. And the idea we were always taught is kind of like innovations like the improv technique, right? So you say yes and rather than
Exactly.
ridiculous. Yeah.
So, yes and.
I think generally, though, feeding them maybe through controlled food waste and the deliver rat idea until they are big enough to not fit through the holes anymore. Problem solved.
What about instead of feeding them up, we make them really buff?
They're already strong.
Steroids in their
And then
water
they can
supply.
do...
Rats
And
on
then they're
steroids.
like real buff rats that can't fit through the holes.
I mean, that'd be pretty...
Quite scary on the. I mean, a lot of people are scared of rats already.
Yeah. You got really
Yes, and.
muscly rat.
Okay. Yes, and... Well, people are scared of rats. You're already talking about changing the shape of them. What if we made rats look really silly?
Well, no, where you went with the buff idea, actually, you just triggered an idea in my head and how do you distract a rat? Rat Love Island. Or Love Rat Island. Although that's probably been done, hasn't it?
I mean, that does sound like Love Island, if I'm honest.
Yeah, well, exactly. Yeah.
So we've had a lot of amazing rat ideas. I
Yes.
think before we leave, rapid fire, one last rat idea each. I have my one. As we build a giant catapult and we fling them into the sun.
That's amazing.
Rat fun pipes.
Okay.
Rats eat pipes. Rats like pipes. What if we put a better pipe next to the pipe that they're in? That's more fun, excited, full of slides, maybe some windows, a TV, some good stuff in there that they can have that pipe.
Very humane. I like it.
Humane.
Yeah.
Nigel, you got one?
train them to do something useful. So, I mean, we need to deploy lots of EV chargers, I'm thinking.
Make them part of the solution.
They couldn't do it all on their own. I'm sure
Amazing.
they could prepare the ground.
Nigel, thank you so much for
Thank you so
joining
much.
us.
My pleasure, really.
You were our first ever guest.
And probably last.
We had a great
Definitely
time.
not true. It's been amazing.
Yeah, no, I really enjoyed it too. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Yes, I think the obvious solution to our rat infestation problem is just to sort of adopt a team of Pied Pipers to catch the rats out of town. Now, obviously, it'll have the downside that in time, just like the Fauci story, they will move on to the children. I don't see that as a real problem, to be honest.
So today we solved a very real world rat related problem. I think we solved it.
Yeah, I feel like we solved. There's a lot of solutions in there.
There's a lot of solutions.
We threw a lot around. Something in there is actually a kernel of a really good idea.
I think Northumbria Water can actually do some real good with this.
Yeah.
I'm excited. Now, but sometimes our listeners, they have problems as well.
Yeah.
Maybe not even rat related. We can solve those too. If someone had a problem, how do they get in touch with us? How do they tell us about it?
So there's a few ways. The best way, or the easiest way for people, is to email us, brainsontheoutside@gmail.com. You can send us a message on Instagram, Brains on the Outside, or you can send us a little tweet on Twitter, which is Brains Outside.
Yes, and we would love to hear from you. It'd be amazing.
If you are someone who would really love to come on the show as a guest, we would love that.
We would definitely have you.
If you have a problem like Northumbrian Water's rat problem that Nigel kindly brought to us and would like to come and talk to us about it, throw some ideas around, maybe get some of our beautiful free consultancy, please send us a message. We would love to have more guests on the show.
It'd be incredible.
So Andrew, we're back next Monday. In the meantime, keep your brain on the outside, man.
Keep your brain on the outside.